Here's day 3 with our guy. I'm just working again on getting him to put his attention on me. Yesterday we were able to get a couple touches, so this is our first session of the day, and I kind of walk right in and gonna just go back to where we left off yesterday. He's still a little unsure, and he definitely wants me to stay behind his head, kind of in front of his shoulder area. That's where he's most comfortable. He does not love to have his head straight onto you yet. And he's really comfortable moving with him on his neck, but his face is still, don't touch, so I'm trying to work on that today. And I did cut out a lot of the breaks, so he does get breaks, but I cut those out because they're very boring. And I left that in because he gave a big old yawn. Now he is one that tends to want to freeze, and I am aware of that, and try to be cognizant that I get him to move his feet a little bit after I've done something to kind of like unlock his feet and hopefully get him out of like the freeze state. And here I just start playing with the end of the carrot stick rope like around his face more, And just trying to kind of wrap that around a little so he gets used to the feeling of that, so that I can prep him to put a halter on. And he actually does really good with this. And he actually got a little curious of that stick. So it was nice to see him get a little bit curious instead of his normal kind of still being a little shut down. And I definitely wanted to reward that. And I just continue. And so I have the halter in my hands. And just kind of trying to figure out the best way to introduce this to him. I thought maybe putting it on the end of the carrot stick would help me out, since he's very used to the carrot stick, and it doesn't really seem like objects bother him. It's more the human presence being close to him that makes him really uncomfortable. But that just kept sliding down. But what I did come to find out through this training session is that if I just kind of wad something up in my hand and just act like I'm going to pet him, he really just doesn't care about it. I mean, this is part of the Mustang training, is like fumbling around with all of your equipment. I feel like sometimes is the hardest part. And right here, he's just backing up a little. He's not so overly worried that I let up on him, because I don't want him to learn that the right answer is to back away from that. I mean, nor do I want to put too much pressure on him, but I was just kind of playing it how I saw it, and I just wanted him to stand still and kind of relax a little before I released. And he really doesn't, he's not a fan of his cheek or front of the face being touched yet. I was trying to see if he'd be curious and reach out to touch the halter himself, but he doesn't really care to do that. And this is where I kind of put two and two together and was like, yeah, he's really not going to reach out and touch that halter with me showing it to him. So let me just kind of see if I can rub it on him. And he did not mind that at all. And he got a little curious about the dog. So I did take a step back there because I knew she was behind him and I didn't want pressure on both sides of him. All I'm just rubbing it on his neck, and he does not mind about that halter. He really doesn't mind about the noise either. And here I am I do ask him to walk around to get his feet unstuck and make sure that he's just not standing there kind of in a frozen state. You can see he's really even unbothered by me kind of tossing that rope over his back. Just trying to scratch his head a little. It'd be nice too if I could find an itchy spot on him so he could realize that scratches are good. I was happy for a second there. He did kind of show interest in the halter. Maybe I should have done a bigger release for that one. Good, and I thought he did really good with that, so I decided to end the session with that.
Good. Yes. Very proud of you. Good boy. Good boy. This crazy girl. This crazy girl. Huh? Running around, fun. Huh?